So here we go, the excitement is building, look. Marcus Goodsir, the Ginger Prince, he's at Auburn now, apparently, as he's got older. But look at this, look at all the bait. Oh, we've got that much kit, it's bloody unbelievable. I've started loading, but I've got to go up the fish farm first, so I've got a load of food in there ready to go up the fish farm, sort the feeders out, which I haven't had a chance to do. And Marcus has got to decant his old van because of his piss poor packing. Look, so we've got to get all that out. Nice to see you with the icy text though, Marcus. Proper quality. Quality bit of kit, yeah. Quality bit of kit. And look, you will see that we are matching. It's a bit gay, isn't it? But we are matching the old Custom Sports. Yeah. This is how we roll when we rock up. Yeah. So what you can see here is someone actually uses his icy text. Look, bit of usage in them. And then someone who's just looks like he's a chancer, doesn't it? Looks like he's just got the fresh start on the building site with his new S-wing and that, isn't it? Look at them. It's like they come straight out the factory. Tell you what, got so much to teach him, so little time. So here we go. We've just come down. Marcus is quite a good pike fisherman as well. He's a lure fisherman, so he's decided to have a little go on Fensmere. And here we go. He's nodded out a couple. I just hope he doesn't get a fucking treble in his fingers. Oh, look at that. That's a better one. That's a better one, Marcus. That's a double, isn't it?
Maybe 9 pounds.
Yeah. Look at that. Lovely. Fantastic. Well done, mate. Lovely jubbly. Beautiful. All right, so it's about just after 1 o'clock. Rods are all out already. I got second out in the draw. And fish are going absolutely garrity, just pretty much all over the lake, but mainly in this main bowl. I'll show you in a minute. Water level's a little bit down. It's similar to the first time I fished here, and I actually back in the same swim, which is across from the main 2 swims on Beynac Lake. Fish come in quite close here, which is ideal for how I'm fishing it. I'm fishing it with my baiting pole, like I did on that first session. I had 24 fish that first week and a load of big uns, a load of 2 big 60s, as I think I said in the last video, and 3 or 4 50s, so it was a really good session. And they just didn't spook out the area because I was literally just baiting, using the baiting pole and dropping it out. I was actually using another little technique, but I'm not going to divulge what that was with the pole, but just a different method for using it. Now I'm just fishing off the bottom of this sort of marginal slope. It slopes quite gradually here. It's like a sand and gravel pit, and it drops off quite gradually and drops down to about 2.8 meters. And I'm fishing just into the silt on the 2.8. Small fish just jumped. And as I say, fish everywhere. I literally got here, left everything in the van, quickly got 2 rods out, bait and poled them out, and just dropped a very, very small, like a tiny handful with a very, very small PVA bag. I've had a couple of liners already, so we shall see what happens. But they definitely look like they're going to be on the munch. I mean, they're feeding really heavily still, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll just give you show the scene. Marcus is banging away over there. I think he thinks he's still on a bloody 1,000-acre gravel pit or something, rather than a small lake. Bloody noddy, I tell you what, Anthony, if you were here and you could hear the noise he's making, banging with a bloody hammer, pins in. Bloody, it's grass, and you can push him in with your little finger. Unbelievable. But there you go. Yeah, what can you do? He's over there and he's pushing all the fish my way. Lovely jubbly. All right, I'll show you the scene. So where we are, this is the scene at Beynac. As I say, water's down a little bit. It's probably about 1/2 metre down. It's been a dry old summer. I don't know if you can see that all over there, but that whole area is just a wash of bubblers. They're just rolling, bubbling, they're going mental. They're obviously on a load of natural, but they are absolutely having it. So this is me. The boys are over there. There was nothing up the arm. Normally the arm can be a really good area, but with this water level down, there just didn't seem to be anything up there. They seem to be all in this main bowl. Yeah, we shall hopefully get amongst them. The scene back here. So we're all in camp now. We're all set up. Look, bloody marvellous. I've just got myself a little taranaki, poulet taranaki, chicken taranaki doodah, we're all set up. Look, I haven't got everything set up properly, but I'm pretty much there. I do all me when I'm here, because most of the fish I'm catching sort of close in here. I actually set up and do all my photographs and what have you back along that margin there. Keeps it out of the way and lesser noise. And I'm set well back, so I'm not making too much noise back here. Out the way. Lovely setup. It's lovely, all ready to rock and roll. Let's see what the week brings. I'll keep you posted, and hopefully we'll have a few. Well, the early bite didn't occur. It's a bit bright, actually. Yeah, I'll put my specs on. The early bite didn't occur, although there were still lots and lots of fish out here. So it's looking really, really good. Conditions tonight are supposed to deteriorate pretty rapidly. We're getting about 25 to 30 millimetres of rain tonight. It's not too cold, so I don't think it's going to have a significant effect on anything. We're not getting a lot of, well, there's zero flow coming into this lake at the moment at Beynac. That's why it's so low. Obviously we've had a little bit of rain over the past sort of 2 weeks, which is the first bit we've had for sort of 3 months. So those water tables will be starting to fill, and I would imagine we might get a lift by a centimetre or two while we're here. I mean, obviously I've got a 2-week slot here. But as I say, fish moving everywhere. They are feeding really hard. I've put my 3rd rod out now. I've just put it quite close, actually, at the very bottom of this shelf. And I've actually, because there hasn't been so many fish to that right-hand side, I've actually put, you know, probably 50 to 80. Hasn't got smaller baits. I haven't, you know, a lot of the time when I'm fishing in the publics, I'll be using 24s and big baits. But here, there's not a lot of pest fish or anything like that. So I haven't got to worry about bream or things like that. So I can get away with smaller baits, which I think I can put, you know, I'm not a great one for putting it super tight. Everyone just drops it out of a boat nowadays, or puts it in a scoop out of a boat or from a bait boat, and it's just very tight baiting. I tend to put a bigger spread out and get the fish moving. I always find I get better hook holds that way, because fish are looking for the next bit of food. So they're moving on to the next bit of food, rather than just being able to sit there, eat in a very small physical area, and then obviously manipulate and deal with your hook bait. So I tend to fish a big spread, and I haven't put out yet over the other 2 rods because there are still fish there. So there's still a chance one of them might give me a little early take on the Saturday afternoon. Anyway, little update. I keep keeping you posted. It's going to be a tricky one here because I've got pretty piss poor internet reception. So I don't think I'm going to be able to post any of this until I come back out of here next Friday to go home to welcome my new anglers on Fensmere, and then I come back on Saturday and do another draw with another group of my mates. So anyway, hopefully I can get it out then. All right, catch us back. Okay, so what are we, 7 p.m. I've just got the I'll get friends to bring over Marks and Spencer's curries. So I've got a chicken balti tonight on a jacket potato. I think that's a nice option from rice. But yeah, so we're sitting here. All the 3 rods are out now, and I've just put a scatter of bait. I'm very much of the opinion that, you know, we tend, or the general trend is to you know, people are dropping a big amount of bait out of the bottom of bait boats, or they're dropping them out of bait and spoons, or they're dropping out of spoms. So you're getting clumping baited areas. So I like to create a bigger baited area. So I've got 3 rods across probably, I'd say about 40 metres. One's about 40 metres out. Well, one is 40 metres on the baiting pole, 40 metres out. One's 45 metres out, and one's 50 metres out in a line. And I've just put a big scattering of bait across that whole area. And I'm going to leave them there. I've just got small bags on each, and there's still fish moving there as we're coming into the evening. And it's looking bloody good. The storm's coming in. We're raining at the moment. Let's have a little look out. I don't know how this is going to handle the... Oh yeah, it's not handling that, is it, very well? Yeah, no, we go back there. Not handling that very well. I'll show you that in a minute. Rain's coming in. So we're due now for rain for about somewhere between 14, 15, 16 hours worth of rain. I'm hoping it's not going to cause a massive influx of cold water and knock them on the head for a few days. But the beauty of a 2-week session is that it doesn't matter quite as much as it does when you're just over here for a week. So we shall see. I'll keep you posted. I'll give you a little look round and see what's happening out there at the moment, and we'll go from there. Catch you later. Bye-bye. So there we are. Raindrops keep falling on my bivvy. Yeah, anyone that knows and sets a bivvy up under trees knows that it's an absolute ball ache. So I've actually set mine up behind it, so I'm not going to get the tree dripping on. There's a hot tip for anglers. You don't not necessarily think about it, but you set your bivvy up under a tree, you're going to get drips on it for bloody hours after the rain stopped, all right? And if they're big enough drips, they're going to keep you awake. But look at that. That looks bloody marvellous, doesn't it? Hey, look at that. Oh, yeah. So one of them's going to rip off in a minute. What we got going on here? Oh, hang on. Got a few Grim Virgin have been done this afternoon. Ah, but look at this. And we got jacket potato in there. Jacket potato. And over here, we got a chicken balti. Marks and Spencer's chicken balti. Oh, get in. Yeah, bloody marvellous. Oh, right hand rod, just had a beepage. Come on, rip off now. I have to put my rain jacket on. Look at that. Oh, you gotta love it, haven't you? Look, it's absolutely pissing down. Oh, I just love it. All right, so second fish of the session. It's got some width to it. It's probably an upper 30, maybe a low 40. It's pissing down the rain. I'm not going to. I'm just going to let her go. I'm not going to take a photo. There we go. Let's sort you out, darling. Let's sort you out. There we go. Come on. There we go. Lovely. Bloody marvellous. So, there we go. Second fish. Yeah, I'd say probably upper 30. Well, I thought it was an absolute unit because it bloody went, but super slow and steady, you know, like a really big fish does. And I thought we was into a beast. And I was on the blower to my mate Andy Smith over in the UK. He's fishing at his lake at the moment at the Syndicate, and yeah, it rattled off, and like a steam train, I thought, here we go, we're into one of the Beynac Beasts. But yeah, not a huge fish, but still always happy to get another one on the Hi guys, well, I tell you what, you couldn't believe it's the same bloody day. We've had about 12 hours of rain, about 35 mil has fallen. It's been biblical is the word. It's been biblical, and you know, we had fish in it. But yeah, it's not conducive to getting out and spotting fish, is it? It's not conducive to being out in the water. So it's lovely. Suddenly the sun's come out. It's still got some warmth to it. You know, it's only late September, and I'm sitting out here with my shirt off and my shorts on again, where I was in a jumper and a hat and a woolly hat and all the business earlier. So yeah, interesting. We've got a lot of bubbling going on. A lot of fish are obviously feeding on naturals, and they're feeding in the silt. I'm getting very slow liners and lots of them, you're getting just slow pickups and then dropbacks, suggesting to me, I reckon, we've got fish that are nosing through the silt. They're in the silt, they're feeding in the silt, and I'm fishing with wafters. I've changed things around a little bit. I've just put I'm fishing with wafters, so you know, and I'm dropping them over out the baiting spoon. I actually did wrap up during the night because I couldn't be asked to do this baiting spoon, so I wrapped up I worked out what my 42 meters of pole I was using, and 48 meters of pole were 11.5 and 12 3/4 wraps. So I wrapped them up so I could just get it out there in the pouring rain and make it a bit easier than trying to fuff about with the baiting pole. But I've just redone my left hand rod. and I'm using a tactic I used very successfully on a number of very silty lakes, especially when they're feeding down in the silt, which is a small, heavy, solid bag. So I've just put a small, heavy, solid bag on. I've taken it out with a pole and dropped it where all the fish are feeding. And my thoughts are, because I've never actually gone and put a camera down to look at how that sits, but my thoughts are that, you know, it sits down and just sits down into that silt layer. And I've found it to be incredibly successful. You know, you don't need, you know, everyone's going, oh, we need to find the hard spots, Well, the fish feed in the silt, it's just that hard spots allow us to present very efficiently and effectively. But the fish like it down in that silt, especially this time of year. There's probably a, you know, the water temperature's 20 degrees at the moment, 19.5, 20 degrees. You know, there's a proliferation of bloodworm and natural still here, and the fish are starting to get on a bit of a munch. So I'm fishing into them and for them. So I've got a small sort of 4.5 inch. It's slightly longer than you'd use for smaller fish. I like to give the bigger fish a little bit more rope. So 4.5 inch link in there, little size 6 with a little dumbbell, with a little tiny sliver of pink wafter on the pink pop up on the top, just to allow my rig dynamics to work properly. I want it sitting so that it goes in the right way to allow the way in which I fish to, in my mind, the hook dynamics to work properly. So we shall see. If that goes, then I shall switch them all over to it, because you know, especially on these 2 left hand rods, they're in a siltier area. The right hand rod's where I've had my 3 takes, and that's actually pretty hard on the drop. So I'll leave that one as it is. I've got a stiff lip combi link on there, with a Gemini 5.5 inch fluorocarbon trace with a doubled relatively soft 1.5 inch to my hook. Again, I might show you what I'm using. It's nothing radical, but I've been playing around with this rig for about 5-6 years now, and I've refined it to what I think is an incredibly efficient method, and it allows me to change my hooks straight away. It's not a slip D, and I don't necessarily like that. I don't know, to me, the slip D, or the slip, it just allows this potential for movement there that fish could faff about with. And the way I fish it is, it means that I think the hook dynamics are perfect. The hook sits perfectly, especially with a slightly balanced. I don't overbalance them. I just want to take I just want to take the weight of the hook out. I don't want to do anything else. So it actually goes down quite quickly, but it's, you know, it's I don't want it wafting up with these big fish moving over a baited area. I want it to sit down there, but act in the same way that a free offering would act under the water, not just waft flying up in the air, because I think that's a negative. Anyway, I might show you later on in the week. We'll see how it goes. Well, I'm going to have another Grim Virgin, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye. Wow, look at it now. Just had torrential rain for hours and hours and hours, and now look at it. Absolutely beautiful. You know, this summer's taken its toll on lots of lakes. Water's down about 0.5 metre. It's pushed the fish down into this main bowl mainly, but still plenty of water out. There's nearly 3 metres there, so loads of water. Beautiful. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, so just managed to I repositioned the rod earlier on, just further up the bank along. They moved up into the arm, and we had Simon had a 50 overnight, well, early this morning. Marcus and I in the main bowl, the fish had disappeared, so we saw a load of bubbling and activity up the arm. So I just slipped a rod up there, and I was just walking along there in the pouring rain just to see if there was still any activity, and the trotter box ran back to a drop back. I was fishing just a little tight little solid bag with a tiny little scattering of bait. It's good fish. It's going to be a big 50. It's a good looking big old kipper, big old shoulders, typical of these Beynac fish and destined to become an even bigger fish of the future. So I'll get it out, let's get it weighed, let's get it photographed and put her back. Look at you, baby. as heavy as it looks. Oh yeah, just over 50. Fortunately, it's a bit deep. There we go. 51 pounds. 51 pounds, beautiful. Well, that's the result. Always lovely to get one off, you know, one of the big, slightly bigger ones. Nice fish. Cracking shape, cracking condition. Let's get her in and let's get her photographed and get her back. Get a little bit of video of her first, and then we go from there. Beautiful fish. So there we go, absolute belter, cracking fish. Beautiful shape, looks like a young un and all. Again, destined to be a beast. A bigger beast of the future, there's no doubt about that. There we go. Look at that, what an absolute lovely one. Right, let's get a couple of stills. She's going. Beautiful. Got a bit of a bend in there. Always tricky trying to do this on the Jack Jones when all the boys are sitting over there in the bloody lodge doing bugger all. Typical, isn't it? Fine. Well, I've just done that 51. I come over here to the boys. I thought I'd have a Barry Badoosh. All right, Bazza. In the shower, you know, clean myself up. I must, as my good mate Bimpton would say, I now have the cleanest anus in Beynac. That'll make you laugh, old cock. Yeah, come round. Thought I'd have a bit of a crack. You know, I baited up, come round, and thought they'd cook me some lunch. I'm going to have to get some hints and tips from you, Kev Ellis, because obviously you are the man that gets looked after around the place. My bloody 55th birthday coming up, the buggers, they're all just minced off, aren't they? Yeah, so PF as well, I tell you, I'm not impressed. Not impressed. Marcus has gone downhill since he moved north. He used to be a lot more hospitable. But yeah, this is what's going on. So here we are, we're in the lodge. This is where they're fishing, just here. So they've got all this. Look, they've got all this. Oh yeah, yeah. They got all this. I'm over there. Billy bloody no mates. Yeah, and they won't even cook me lunch. Tell you, it's a pretty piss poor show to be honest, but you know, them's the breaks, innit? Them's the breaks. Anyway, gonna get some ice, get my stuff sorted. I'll bank Marvin and I'll bugger off and leave them to it. Leave them to their miserable selves. Catches. Good evening. So, lovely 51. Really happy with that. But the lake is super quiet down this main bowl area. It's always the same. You get lines out of a big area of water, and where do the fish go? They go where the lines aren't. So I've been up there multiple times. I mean, the fish that I caught was pushing up into that arm. I'd seen a lot of fish there this morning, and it just made sense to put one up there. A little solid bag, a small amount, enough to just get a bite. And I've been up there a couple of times this afternoon. There's still a load of fish up there. Simon is fishing it the opposite side of the arm to me, and he had that 50 this morning from the opposite side, and I've just been up there then, and there's a heap of fish moving down that side. It looked right on him, actually, to be honest. So I've got a sneaky suspicion he's going to nick one really, you know, before it gets dark. Marcus has just had a one. I just said to Marcus, you guys, somebody's got to get up there. Look, I've had a few fish now, so these guys just have one each. It's down to them. You know, the way in which I think you work these trips is, it's, you know, we all come away to catch fish, don't we? We come away on holiday. You know, if one of you's had a few more fish, then it's down to the others if they want to take the opportunity to go down and get amongst those fish. It's only actually going to be better for all of us in the long run, because getting down there into the arm is only effectively going to, hopefully they're going to catch a couple and they're going to push fish down back into this main bowl. And so, you know, there are going to be lines out of the water here for most of the day if they're all up there. So I'm hoping the boys tomorrow take 2 rods each. They go up there. It's not going to be any rain tomorrow. And they go in the middle and the end swim and they catch a few fish. Maybe, you know, have a hit, catch some beasts, and push the bulk of the fish back down into this main bowl. We've got to follow them around. We've got to move them around this lake. Otherwise, fish move to where the lines aren't. So that's what I hope they're going to do. It will make sense for them to do it. And I've just said to Marcus, you ain't. I know I've had a few, but I'm going to, because that's where the bulk of the fish are. So anyway, yeah, you know, all good. You know, it's late Monday afternoon. I've got a jacket potato in the oven just here. The old jacket potatoes in here. I'm just going to have a tuna jacket spud tonight. I can't be asked to do anything else. I mean, Marcus let us down obviously this afternoon, not making the barbecue. You know, what can you do? You know, one job he had, didn't he? One job failed me. You know, so I'm going to have to, you know, knock out the old tuna, mayonnaise, bit of sweet corn, and jacket potato, and then tomorrow I might shoot over to there and take a bit of steak. I've got some steak here, and we'll have a bit of a barbecue. Hopefully, have a few more fish on the bank. So anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to check out, and yeah, I'll catch up with everyone tomorrow. Maybe a few fish. It's not normally a night venue, to be fair. Most of the fish do come during the day. So if anything happens during the night, obviously I'll show you. But one of those big uns, one of those big upper 70s, you know, possibly low 80s could come out. And that's what we're gunning for. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye. Good morning. Quiet night. Nothing to report. I'm actually using some captive backleads at the moment, so I was getting loads of liners and I just don't want to keep getting woken up to them. If the fish are coming through, I just want to have a run. So I wanted a good night's kip last night, so I put captive backleads on, and it's kept everything pretty tidy and there's no noise. No fish for anyone around the lake. It was a cold night, went down to about 6-7 degrees. Yeah, there's just not a lot of activity in this main bowl. So Simon, bless him, has got on the go this morning straight away and gone up the arm, and he said there's fish up there. So I'm pretty sure he'll have a couple quite quickly, and that might be just what we need, and it'll push them fish back into this main bowl area. I think without lines up there, it's a classic in these sorts of lakes. You know, if you haven't got lines in that bit of the water, then that's where the fish turn up. What we might end up doing is taking one of the actual boats up there and just one of us go up there each day and boat around for an hour or so, half an hour, and shift them fish back off and keep them, you know, shifted down this way. It's either that, or if I chat with the owner and see if he doesn't mind me just putting two rods out, you know, just with a lead on, no hook or anything, just a lead, and go and cast them around every day, and keep lines tight across the whole channel. Again, that I've seen that work before, and it's worked for me before. So anyway, it's all to play for. We're in the heat. We're in sort of the hot time now anyway, and he went through today. But it looks like there's going to be more bloody rain. I can't Adam and Eve it. And it's colder. So it's not great. It's not them stable conditions that I really look for and look forward to. It's looking like the end of the week is getting warmer again, and then next week's looking really good. So this week 2 is looking more promising actually than week 1. Anyway, we shall see how it goes. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and have a coffee and a couple of ginger nuts. Can't beat a couple of good Dunkin' ginger nuts, can you? I mean, that's like the one, isn't it? These ones, I get these over here in France, and they're not McVitie's, but they don't half dunk well. Do you know what I mean? They're bloody marvellous, actually. I normally cleanse the palate with a few ginger nuts in the morning, do you know what I mean, before I have a big cook up. Anyway, enough waffling. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye. So, it's been pretty quiet. A good fish just head and shouldered along the dam there, back of Marcus's area. He's fishing shorter though. There is structure there. There's stuff that fish have been lost on before. There's like stub walls where the outlet pipe is, and I've got a feeling there's an old tree or something down there. It always holds fish, but it's a real problem to fish very close to, because they always seem to be able to knock you into it and get rid of the hook. So he's fishing just off of that area and was allowing them to have some space behind. Often a good method, and allow them some security and not keep pushing in and pushing into them, because all you effectively do is you either push them up into the snags that they can get into, or you push them out of your area. But they're not responding to that at the moment. Still early days on a water that gets as much pressure as this. And at the end of the day, if they've not got any food there, they're probably still, they're probably still getting rid of a boilie and stuff that the anglers from last week used. Once all that's gone, then they'll come onto his baited areas, as if he's got the patience to stay on them. I've put out about 10 kilo across my area, but I'm feeding a big area from sort of here across to here in a big line, with a couple of areas of more heavily baited where I've caught before. Oh, that was fish. That was a fish. Come on, that's not far off the baits. Again, as you know from the rainbow sessions, I've fished with lots of different very good anglers, and you observe different styles and different techniques. And I've always been renowned for catching a lot of fish, but sometimes I don't catch the real big ones. And something that I really looked into, and looked at other people who didn't maybe catch as many fish, but they caught bigger ones. You can say there's always luck in that, and the more fish you catch, then you're bound to catch a big one here and there. But I think there is I think we all do things, specific ways in which we fish, that attract or create the opportunities that we get. I'm fastidious about accurate baiting and accurate bait placement, and that's how I used to fish. And I'm, going back 40 odd years, I used to fish matches, and that mentality was still in my head. So I'd fish tight, good tight groups, accurate baiting. But that led me to catch probably the smaller fish coming in on those tighter baited areas, where the bigger fish, I think, were potentially sitting around the periphery. And fishing with other anglers, watching them fish in a very different style, has changed my style on waters like this, where I'm really targeting, there's potential 80 pounder here, and I'm targeting that. I want the bigger ones. I don't really want a lot of smaller fish. So I'm fishing a big baited spread, and I'm getting fish to mooch about, and I'm fishing on the periphery of those tighter baited areas that I have got in, amongst the scattering of other baits that I've got. And I'm not using, everyone uses bait boats here. I'm casting at the moment. I'm just wrapping and casting, or using the baiting pole. But instead of filling up the baiting pole, I'm just literally dropping a solid bag, and I'm fishing with the stick. Pre-soaked baits, they're all soft. They're already to the fish. They would think that they've been in the lake a good few days. They're very difficult to get out on the stick, but I'm only fishing at sort of 11 and 12 wraps, so I can get them out there. And as I say, big spread, soft, ready, easily digestible baits. And I'm fishing, and I'm moving around all of my spots at the moment. I've got one on the right of what was my 3 rods there, has had 3 fish, and then the other is just basically along into the arm there. That is with the bait boat, but it's not with any bait in the hopper. It's just, again, with a solid bag. Well, maybe just a handful of crumb. I'm fishing for just one fish at a time up there, and if I don't want to put bait up there and stop them coming back down onto my baited area. So anyway, there we go. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we can get another kipper for the camera. Get one of these really big ones, because that would be very, very nice. All right, catch you later. Well, it's bloody pissing down again. It is unbloody believable. Weather's gone from last week, it was 30 degrees, I think, on Friday and Saturday. It's got about 12 now. Look, I'm in the Salapettes. Baltic, gone Baltic. So, as you can see, 2 rods up the arm, all the fish are up the arm, all the fish buggered up the arm. Boys have just gone up there. You know, they're only on 1 fish each at the moment, so it's their shout. So they need to get up there, hatch a bloody few of them. I don't know what they're playing at, and get them down. Look, I think we know what they're playing at. These fish are heavily onto a massive natural. They're feeding massively on bloodworm beds at the moment, and probably what they've done is they've been in this bay, the main bowl here, this last week, and fed really heavily. When we got here Saturday, they were just bubbling up like crazy. They've probably left the arm. I think a guy was up the arm last week, only had 1 fish, but the predominance, probably 80% of the fish are up that arm at the moment, but they're on a massive bloodworm bed, and feeding on the naturals, which is always a tough time to try and catch them. But it is possible. Boys just need to pull their fingers out and bloody make it happen, and spook them back down this neck of the woods. I've still been expecting a run, so I'm still ever hopeful, you know. That's the way it goes, isn't it, in fishing? You win some, you lose some. This is the beauty. We're here for 2 weeks. Next week's looking much more stable, much better weather conditions. So, fingers crossed. There's a few more for the boys to do this week, and for me. And next week provides us with a few more kippers. If not, who gives a monkeys, eh? I'm not bloody working, which is an absolute Bobby Dazzler as far as I'm concerned. And I'm out here doing what I love. Anyway, catches, quick update about that. Also worth noting, if any of you are eagle-eyed, massive hatch going on. Swallows are going absolute ballistic. There's mental amounts going everywhere. So there's big hatches going on as well. So the natural food is in abundance here, which is not causing us, well, it is causing us issues probably. And we've got to contend with that. Now, you know, could we go up and get a load of maggot and stuff? Maybe. Could we contend with bloodworm or a hatch of some beastie from the depths? Doubt it. You know, if they're on it, and there's very little we can do about it. We've just got to try and wade our way through it and nick off the odd fish here and there. Anyway, see yous. Bye-bye. Yeah, bloody brilliant. I just heard Simon's doggy start barking, and I knew he was into one. So I've just looked over, it's pouring down with rain, Baltically cold, and he ain't even got a brolly. He's 70 odd years old, bless his heart, and he's an absolute legend. Simon Bleacher, love you to bits, mate. You're a champion, and get that one in, and I hope it's an absolute beast. I hope it's a PV, son. I hope it's a PV. It's been about bloody time. We've been trying to get you one for a bloody long time, so it could be magic. There he is over there. Marcus is with him. Come on, Simon, get this one in. I hope it's a beast. I think he needs a 66 to beat a PB. And there's plenty of them in here, so come on, mate. Come on. If it is, I'll reel in. I'm going to come round, because that'll be a special moment. Come on. Well, yeah, it's bloody raining. Well, the boys did the job. They had 1 each. I think Marcus had a 26 common, and Simon had a 32 mirror. So they're brilliant. That's good. That's what we want. And here we are, because it's raining. I can't be asked to set the other little tarp up to do me outside cooking like I would normally do. So we're indoors. Set it up on one of the cool boxes, one of the Icy Techs. Again, if you don't know these things, if you're not using these sorts of cold boxes, Icy Techs, you're missing out. I mean, these things keep stuff frozen for a week if they're packed properly. Mega bits of kit. And this, again, this is an old bit of kit now. I've been using these for a long time, but it's what we brought over. We've used Weber's for years, but this is my little Weber Cube portable. Haha, yes. I've got a separate little hose that I can put on. I can run it off of my little butane bottles, or if I'm travelling, sometimes that's all I use for the summer, or I use that with a big butane, with a big bottle, or in the winter, obviously a butane propane mix. Bloody awesome. And what have I got to go with it tonight? Oh yes, we've got a Limousin steak. Oh, gonna have that with jacket spud you like. Look, jacket spud in the old oven. Again, if you're on these sorts of sessions, these things, honestly, they're game changers. You can have chips and fish and and do you know what I mean? They're just the bollocks. So if you haven't, I mean, yeah, they're a couple of £100 or something, but they are the business. And look on the side. Look, what's this? What's this sitting here? Look, just on the. Oh yeah. It's my Army Tech light. Look at that. Can just stick on there on the old magnet, so I can have it as a light in the bivvy. Remember, this thing is absolutely amazing. The Army Tech. There we are. Or I can put it into its little head jobby, into its little thing to guard my head, which is what I sit there and I can use it when I go out for a fish in the night. Army Tech, proper bit of kit, no plastic, all aluminium shell, magnetic bottom, used as a bivvy light, job's a gudgeon, life's a bream. This hatch that's going on is just amazing. I've been sat here with my binoculars. I mean, look at them all. They're all on my net. They're over there on one of my rods. There they are. There's two over there. They're just taking a break. They've been on the wing, you know. These birds feed on the wing and spend so much of their life on the wing. Oh, it's just incredible to watch them. Such beautiful creatures. Just taking a break. Look. Oh, there you go. I had one just actually nearly come and try and fly in my bivvy. I said hello and it toodled off. Oh, there's a robin as well. Look. Oh, there it is. Nature. It's what we're here about, isn't it? It's what makes this so bloody awesome, carp fishing. So there you go, look. A bit of faux fillet from my region of France in the Creuse, the Limousin. Beautiful. Nice and hot. Just give it a couple of minutes really, each side is all it needs, then let it rest. This isn't a thick one. That's all it needs. It'll be a right old ripper, that will be. I can't wait. So there we go. Steak, jacket, potato and a few old bakedy beans. And we're fishing. Come on. Right, the boys have obviously been catching up here today, and we know that they're up here, up in this arm. So I've just had a wander up here, spooked a heap of fish all the way along this margin. Colour everywhere. It's hard to see on this light, but there's coloured spots everywhere. Fish bow waved off. And then you look down into the margins and there are these. They're not, these aren't your round holes that you can sometimes see in lakes. I think they're flanking holes. I think they're holes where fish use it to flank on, to rub off parasites and stuff like that. These are feeding holes. They're all the way along, right underneath this margin, super tight. I've seen multiple of them now. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I mean, we're talking, you know, probably 2 or 3 foot deep there, but, you know, right up tight to the bank. They're not caused by any other animal. Nothing else causes that. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah. The anatomy of a carp lake. The old carp. Fascinating creature, aren't they? Eh? Well, that's a first. Just sitting here, it's, I don't know, it's about 7:30. It's just starting to get dark. The swallows are still hitting the hatch. And I've had multiple ones start to come into the bivvy. I've never ever had that before in my life, to be fair. And so it's, you know, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This last one just literally came in and sat on here. Looked at me, went, oh, probably not the best, is it? And flew out. Never had that. Bloody marvellous. Nature. It is what it's all about, guys and girls, isn't it? Being out here, seeing it, being a part of it, loving it for what it is. Just a special, special place to be. Sitting on a lake, seeing the sun come up, watching the sun go down, watching all phases of life evolve and go on around you. Just mega. It just blew me away. Just sat there, looked at me, literally looked at me and went, well, probably not best for me here, is it? I said it's okay, but I couldn't get the camera out quick enough. Bloody marvellous. All right, so here we go. It's 5 AM Wednesday morning, and rod's just rattled off. Not a big fish, but quite a nice, beautiful looking fish. I'm not going to do any big photographs of it, but there we go. Lovely fish, 35 pounds. Big, very distinctive big scales up on that shoulder. Yeah, lovely kipper, lovely fish, super clean as is usual here, and lovely jubbly. Another one under the belt, good stuff. Top of the morning, Tears. Well, nice, that nice 35 this morning at just after 5 o'clock in the morning. Apparently this lake's not been doing any fish at night, but we've had 2 now, 3 during the night. So yeah, interesting, eh? How seasons change things. It's been one of those though. I mean, last week obviously we had temperatures up to 30 degrees. This week it's been 12. Yesterday it was 12, pouring with rain, freezing cold. Water's gone from sort of 19, 20 degrees down to 16, which is never bloody ideal. Not conducive to the fish, I don't think, right away getting right on it. I think they will. And the week's forecast for next week's looking really bloody good, to be fair. It's looking nice and stable, warm, sort of 20 degrees most days, double figures during the night, which means water temperatures aren't going to go down anymore. They'll stabilise, if not just keep as they are. So it's looking really good. But no more fish around the lake last night. I think I had a little mooch up the arm, and there were some bubblers still up off the middle swim in the arm. So I think he's not going to do a full move up there. It's he's going to take the rods up there and do another day session up there, I think, which I think is a good idea. And again, it's another, hopefully keeps moving them about, and will hopefully push some more fish down here. Can't believe Marcus hasn't had more fish. I think he's going to have to bite the bullet and push over to the far side with his long rod, and hopefully get amongst them, because we're on Wednesday morning and we need to have a few more fish. It's sort to play for in a lake like this, so I'd imagine most of these fish have eaten pretty much everything that was there from the previous anglers, and now they should be getting on the munch for ours, if they are going to have a munch. Anyway, fingers crossed. I'll keep you posted. I'm feeling confident today is going to do us a few fish, so hopefully there'll be some good video and some beasts to show you. All right, catches. Just gone into the afternoon, and a rod off my baited spot's just gone, which is nice. It's not a big fish. I probably won't weigh it, but I'm going to bring it over here anyway and just go through it and just let you see it, because obviously it's a nice looking kipper, male. Sort of got a few scales on it as well. So we'll just give it a little look and see what's happening. I'm not going to weigh her. Just thought I'd let you see her, because he's quite a pretty fish. Nice scales. Let's have a little look. There she goes. Lovely little one. Hopefully some big ones to come. All right, so Wednesday afternoon. I don't know if you can see all that. You can. Yep, what all that lot is over there. Let's get back into focus. Wind's coming on, but they're all bubblers. It is going ballistic all over me at the moment. That's all over my baited area. So I'm looking forward to that right hand rod just ripping round any minute now. Now, over there, Marcus Goodsir, the Ginger Prince, just had a 56. Bloody marvellous. So all's going well. All's going well. He's turned from doom and gloom. He's just had 2 fish this afternoon. So he's gone from feeling like, oh my God, it's Armageddon and it's Carnegie, to a couple of fish on the bank, which is the way of angling, isn't it? The fish moved from, they came from up the arm where they went when there was no lines up there. The boys went up there and fished it yesterday, caught a couple, pushed them all back down. They've all come back down into this main bowl, and it's looking good for a few now because they're definitely on the munch. Come on. All right. I only got to add another one, haven't I? Bloody marvellous. 40 and a half. 40 pounds, 8 ounces. Cracking little fish. Yeah, really happy. Let me just get this sorted out on the camera so you're going to be able to get to see it. There we go. There we go. That'll be better. Again, not too worried with photos and stuff with this one. But a beautiful fish nonetheless. So I wanted to show you it. I knew I was going to get one. I had bubblers all over my rod. Marcus has just had a 56 on the nose. Cracking fish, beautiful looking young fish. You know, just typical of these Beynac kippers. And this one again, a young fish, beautiful looking. 40 pounds, 8 ounces. Beautiful, look at that. What an absolute pearl. It's all tensed. Let her down, she's going to go. Yep, just give you the other side. Let's give you the other side. She's a beautiful looking fish. Not too worried on photos. I've got the video of it, so that's lovely anyway. But yeah, look at that. Beautiful fish. I'm in just immaculate condition. A couple of old hook holds in the mouth, but with the crushed barbs that they have here, like I have at Fensmere, it's you know, the hooks are out by the time you put them in there. Look at that. Well, good morning all. It was a quiet night, good sleep, until about 3 AM when the line has started. And I've woken up and been observing this morning. There's definitely some more fish gone back up the arm. So I've just taken a rod that I had a couple of fish on and dropped it back up on them. Just with a small bag and a little handful of crumb boiling pellet. And I've got bubblers over both my other rods, and it's looking good. It's looking good for a fish. Nothing for Marcus overnight. Simon had a small 20-odd pound mirror. He just slipped back this early hours of this morning as well. So it's all to play for. It feels a bit warmer this morning than it was yesterday. There's actually blue sky, believe it or not, although it's looking black over there. Forecast is better for today. Hopefully going to get a little bit warmer now and settled for this next week. Fish are looking like they're starting to settle into a rhythm. And hopefully we can get a few more. I'll show you, I'll give you a little pan round and show you the scene in a second. But yeah, let's see what happens. All to play for. So this is the scene this morning. Beynac. Looking lovely. Let's hope one of them rods rips off. Big old 75 pounder. That's what we want, isn't it? Lovely. A quick update. Thursday afternoon, Big Fish Thursday. Cracker for Simon. over there. We had a 53 this morning. Really nice fish off the back of a massive amount of fish just bubbling and carrying on what are obviously big bloodworm beds, but just a humongous amount of fish. I've been sat here, literally sat on my hands. Everyone knows them feelings when you know you've got fish all over you, but you know that they're actually feeding on something else, and you just hope that on the periphery, with the competition of food, that with the amount of fish that are down there feeding it, you might just get an opportunity and a chance. You know, I woke up this morning and I thought I'd be in for 4 or 5 fish today. Really did. I've had fish on all the rods and it's looked absolutely mad for it all day. But I'm just sitting here on my hands, run out of Grimbergen as well, so I'm suffering, do you know what I mean? But we shall see what happens. I mean, hopefully, this is about the time yesterday I had a fish off of my spot here in close, so hopefully it'll go again today, and it'll be one of these big girls for the camera. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll come back to you in a short while. All right then, so I thought it would be, I thought I'd have to have one. So many fish out there, I've still got loads all over. It's funny, actually the fish I took, it's a 37, it's not a big fish, I'm not going to do any photos, but I thought I'd show you. Another nice one. It come off a rod that I've had no bubblers on whatsoever. They've all been over my 2 right hand rods, and nothing over this one, and this one rattles off. Fought like an absolute demon. Oh. Let's just grab her out to show you. Again, nice fish. It's not one of the real big ones. We'll get one. We will get one. All right, baby. All right, baby. So there we go. Yeah, beautiful. Lovely fish. Right, let's get some photos. A little bit of late evening, early evening carnage. I literally just put the other rod out. I'd literally just set the bobbin, and another rod on the same spot just ripped off. A little one, it's about 20 odd pound, a little dumper don. But I'll show you it in the net there before I slip her back. It's got some shoulders on her. The kipper of the future, no doubt. There she is, look. It's got some width. Definitely got some width to her, the old girl. But I'm just going to slip her back. I'm not going to muck about even way or anything. Yeah, not bad. Always happy with that. That's 10 fish now, so starting to get really good. I've got about 30, I don't know how many hours until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I've got to shoot home, do all my chores back at Fensmere and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully we can get a few more, get one of them big ones. Come on. All right, when you follow me, there's always some carnage. So sitting here this morning, I'm just getting ready. Kev and Andy are turning up in about an hour's time to do the draw for next week, and if I have to move, I was going to obviously then move, pack up my gear, and then I'm getting home to sort out my new anglers arriving and stuff, and then I'll get a call from Sally saying that there's some smoke coming out of the middle of one of the walls. She had the pellet stove on last night, and then I've thought, hang on, that don't sound right, and she's done some video with me, and looks like there's been some ignition go on inside the wall somewhere, and it's been smouldering all night. So Sal's just had to call the bloody fire brigade in, hoping I don't get back to a smashed up bloody extension, which would be suboptimal. Just when that's happening, middle rod rips off, got a mid-60 in the net. Oh, you can't script it, can you? It's a fish I've been wanting out of here. I know it is. It's a half linear, it's a cracker. An absolute peach of a fish, come out about 65 I think last time, so it's going to be in the 60 to 65 pound range. Oh God, I should be elated, and I'm actually stressed to buggery now. Anyway, I'll get this fish sorted out. I think my mate Marcus is going to come round. It's a bit too big to handle all on my own. He's going to come round and we get photos and stuff, and then I might just pack up anyway and go home and sort out whatever's bloody happening there. All right, catches. All right, well, let's see this, because this is a lump. There we go. Now that is what we come to Beynac for, a proper lump. And I should just say, look, this is the little setup we use for holding a net in place. Look, makes life very much easier, especially on this place because you can't bring your own nets. I use the corders, and they've got like a spike in the end, and you can push them in. But not here. So that little system is great. I can leave it there, super happy. Barbless hook's unhooked and everything's ready to go. I'm going to go and get set up now, ready for Marcus. All right. Let's get this fish on.
Might you not zip up the same?
That's all right. We'll just lift her up like that, mate. That'll be fine. Can you give us a lift?
Yeah, you 0.
She's all done, mate. That's something I always try and do when I'm working with these big fish. I always cradle them under the body when I'm lifting them up. Look at that. That is a belter, mate. It's one of the finest fish, that is.
Yeah, beautiful, very deep.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Absolutely fantastic.
You gonna lift the fish and I'll pull the net?
Yep. Just get my arms done.
Just get the nose clip. Clip. Clip.
What a creature that is. Wow. Now, I know she was 65 in the summer, so she could be a bit lower, but she looks like she's still got some weight to her, doesn't she? Yeah, definitely.
Right,
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, fins are good. Check them.
Okay. 0.
Yep. Okay, now she looks a bit fish spawning. Oh, she's just under 60, 59 and a half.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Good fish, though.
Beautiful.
Fish.
Lovely. Alright, let's move that out of the way. Right, and what I'll do is I'll slide the whole thing out there.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I'll put that on there. I'll go to that. And go out there. There we go.
Should I take this other mat out?
No, I'm just going to slide that out. Lovely, thanks, mate.
Get dry hands.
Argulus down there. Alright. Now what I'll get you to do is as I lift her, I'll just get you to pull the mat out the way. Yeah, you might not be able to with a prime because you're going to be further away, aren't you?
Right, you can pull the mat out.
Yep.
Lift a bit if you can.
Blast. Give us a mat. Yep.
That's about right. Do it properly. Unbelievable.
Typical.
Ready to go again.
Okay, did you get a couple then anyway, didn't
Or
you?
a couple, but not.
Okay, you had the other side, didn't you?
No, there's some more that side. Good one.
I think you had the other. I think you had the other side. I think this
Side
is.
I was doing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, definitely this side.
Okay,
There's
so
a red
this is
blotches,
the-
there's got red blotches on both sides.
Yep.
Slightly different. Right, that's it. Up a little bit.
That'll do that. Brilliant. Slide her in. Spin around.
haven't got they're already tubbed up full, are they?
No. No. Nearly back, girl. Nearly back. What a beautiful fish. This one really is a beauty. Okay.
Tail up slightly. One more chisel.
One like that. That'll do.
Right.
Yeah, just get one of them put in the back.
Just put the photo card in. Just check it. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Right, cool. Right, you know what?
Yeah,
Put it back.
put that one, yeah. That was it. Had enough. Get in. Get in. Lovely. Oh yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Right, belter. Yeah, look at that. Belter. Thanks, mate.
I'll get those downloaded.
Thank you, thank you. Brilliant. That's what we come here for. Plenty more bigger ones in here as well. Bloody marvellous. I tell you what, it never rains, so it bloody pours, doesn't it? So I've shot home, obviously the fires actually, the Pompiers put it out, and you know, people are saying, I've had people commenting on sales posts, so it was the flue, got fuck all to do with the flue. Yes, the flue wasn't brilliant, and it is a pellet stove going through the wall, but it had just on the regulations amounts of insulation around it, with fire retardant insulation foam that you use for doing the exact thing on a pellet stove. And the fire didn't start there, of course. It's a pellet stove. Fire started this poxy electrician job halfway up the wall, and then it went up where the flue, because that's where obviously there's air there, so that's what drew the flames up the wall. So at the moment we've got a bloody great hole in the side of the house on the extension. I've got people turning up for the lake, Rob Rigby and his mate, and I've got Andy Barry and that turning up. We're supposed to be entertaining tonight, so that ain't gonna happen. Supposed to be going back doing my second week of fishing. Ain't gonna happen, is it? A bit of time off. Oh, blimey O'Reilly. So the boys arrived, they're getting set up down there. We've just had a beer, just one. I've got to go and do all sorts of other stuff. I've got to go and get the farm all filled and sorted. Oh, hang on, that's a bit wonky, isn't it? This is my driveway, okay? I'm not driving on the road like this, just let you know. The game of life. I said right at the beginning of this, it's not all beer and Skittles, okay? The more you do in life, the more shit you get. Let me tell you. Sometimes it's easier just to think little and just do bugger all and stay in your lane. Sometimes that's the easy option, yeah? Because I tell you at the moment, I'm at my wit's end. Like you get to hear from me every now and again, I'm at my wit's end with multiple different things. Trying to juggle multiple different things and get them all to work and try and make a life. I'll hold this space. I'm coming out onto the road, so I've got to love you and leave you. I'll catch up with you when we get to the farm.